welcome back and welcome to my backyard October garden tour. I'm doing this in the morning. I usually do it in the evening, but the sun has been so beautiful when it comes up and shines on all the trees, and I thought it would be nice to do it in the morning. Only issue is sometimes the traffic can be a little bit loud in the morning. Hopefully with this microphone we won't have a lot of that background noise. Feeling a little crisp outside. Finally starting to feel like fall. We had a warmer October, I'm sure, like a lot of you did. So things are still giving us some color, but I'm sure after this week we'll probably start to lose a lot of our annuals, which is kind of sad. But let's turn the camera around and have the tour. I think we'll start up here on the back deck and get one last look at our hanging baskets. I keep saying that because I keep thinking it's the last time we're going to be able to view them. But these have been going strong since April, and they bring me so much happiness. Just long-lasting, beautiful. These are all proven winners, and I'm just really happy with them. Next year, I will show you my routine on how I take care of them, because what I have done this year has really helped. But I potted up these plants back here, and they're really fun. I'm not getting a ton of blooms from the pansies yet, but I expect to get some soon. And I have some over here as well with some pumpkins. Nothing too crazy, but fun for fall, and these will give me color all throughout. Well, last year I had a pot out here with pansies and a cabbage, and I had blooms for clear into like February, I want to say. So it will depend on how mild the winter is, but you can see out here as we look, we've got these river birch trees changing to a yellow color, which is so pretty against the blue of the Russian olive trees. The Russian olive trees are a little bit junk trees, so we've planted these in here to fill in, and as soon as these grow up, we'll start taking out some of the olive trees. I didn't like these when we first moved in, but now I'm really starting to love them, so the thought of that kind of makes me sad, but we'll keep as many as we can. But I just love that color combo with the pop of yellow and the blue. And those river birch trees are just so beautiful. I can't wait till next year. I feel like their third year, they're really gonna have some growth. So that's really fun to see. And the creek has just been flowing at a nice rate. We've got our maple tree over there starting to bring us a little color, and we've got some leaves sprinkled on the ground over here. So it's just fun to stand up here and see how the yard is changing as temperatures start to cool down in the evening. They're not quite cooling down during the day. We've still been in the 80s, but very soon, I think tomorrow we'll be in the 50s. So big changes. This rose has just been so lovely. Of course, you guys know this is my favorite rose. This is the Lady of Shalott, and I just want to show you a few of her blooms. When it gets cooler, she gets a little bit more pink, and so it's fun to see the variations of color on her. One of my, well, it's my favorite rose in my yard. I've ordered some more bare root roses on the David Austin website, and I'm so excited. I'm going to do a video on that because there's some other things that I want to order for next year too, and I think I might combine it and do one video. But we've had such a mild fall that we've been able to get even more blooms out of her, and oh, she's just stunning. I kind of let her go wild. As soon as we get our first frost, I'll come in here and cut down any wild branches just so that they're protected in the winter, but I'm waiting till that kind of first frost or sometime in November. Such a beautiful color. Here's the garden. You will have that tour in my next video, but flowers are still going strong there. And then I am getting ready to take my houseplants inside. I have a few out here, and so this one I sprayed off, and hopefully it wasn't too cold for it last night. I kind of forgot about it, so I'll bring that in. And I'll also bring in the geranium pots that I planted up when I moved all my geraniums. So let's take a look here. I just wanted to show you guys too. So I have some Russian sage here that gets too much water. I'm going to move this next spring, but I want to show you what it looks like when it does get too much water. It just kind of leans and flops over. So this is not very happy. Definitely going to move it back to where I have some other ones, and I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, good thing to know. These flowers are still looking great, you guys. I'm not going to pull anything out until we get that first frost. And my knockout roses are giving me another flush, which is nice. This one's about to flush also. Let's go down the steps here. Everything looks a little different right here because I took out my geraniums, and while that was sad, it's nice because I learned that you can overwinter them. Some of you probably know that, but I didn't know that, and so it was exciting to find that out because I absolutely fell in love with them this summer. You can check out my last garden tour to see them, but I potted some up and then I overwintered some in paper bags, and boxes, and so I have a video on that you can check out. But for right now, I just have white and light yellow pansies, and my next step in here is to plant a bunch of bulbs, so that's what I'll be doing next. Here's my pots. I need to bring them inside tonight. It's going to get down to 38, I think, tonight. So it's going to be kind of chilly, or maybe that's tomorrow night, but it's coming up soon. But they have taken really, really well to these pots. I've had to do a little cleanup for some leaves that have kind of died back, but for the most part, they just are super healthy, and I'm hoping they'll give me some blooms inside. I don't know, I've never done this, but we'll see. I'm really hoping for that. Back over here by our hot tub, not very cute, but we have my pansies that are doing so well, you guys. So I came in here and planted some pansies, and some of them had died, and I planted them, and let's see, I think a few of them spring back to life, but like this one didn't make it. So I'm glad I went and got some other ones, but look how pretty that is. It's been so warm, so they've been able to put on quite a bit of growth. And then my ivy's starting to go slowly creeping up the side. One of these days it will hopefully fill up this whole grid, but this is really making me happy, and will make me happy all winter long as we sit out here. Okay, so that's this area. Let's move over here to the rock garden. Not a lot happening, just a lot of leaves on the ground. You know what I think is so beautiful? This blue carpet juniper. It's got a spider web on it. Clean it off. Look how pretty that is with the leaves on it. Oh my goodness, can you imagine when this thing is so big and those leaves falling down on it? Amazing, so gorgeous. We got a little bit of pink color still with these super tunias hanging on the bubble gum. And not much else has changed here. This pink cashmere Superbina is going strong. I'm gonna leave this here in this spot and see if it will come back for me next year. I had a Superbina come back in the front, and I think it's gonna be warm enough here on these rocks that it might. So I'm really gonna try that out this year. We have this burning bush here, and I'm gonna move it eventually. I meant to do it this fall, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I just think it's a random place, so. But look how beautiful they are. I definitely need to move it somewhere else in my yard because I love the color that it brings. And then I'll show you up on top, but look, we got one more bloom from our delphinium, which has been super fun. I'm leaving up those cone flowers for the birds, or just for the look out here in the winter to have a little bit of interest. They're so pretty with snow on top, so I'm gonna leave those. I'm not gonna cut them back. And all summer long, this queen nectarine hyssop has been blooming. Such an amazing plant. I love when a plant can look good in the spring and also look good in the fall. Like that orange color is so beautiful with all these different colors that we're getting from fall, and that blue back there, of course, orange and blue are just so gorgeous together. So not a ton else to show here. Look at the fall color we're getting. And this pretty much looks the same too. The penstemon is still going strong over there. Hi, Piper. We're just gonna leave these flowers in. They've been going all October. Crazy. I did plant up some Boom Chocolata Proven Winners hardy geraniums, and I'm so happy with them. Next year I cannot wait because I feel like they'll fill this area in and there'll be purple blooms on them. So I'm looking forward to that for next year. Then my peonies are starting to change color, and I love the color that they bring in the landscape. So beautiful. Mine did a little better this year, only a slight bit of powdery mildew. We do have overhead watering, so I know that's part of my issue, but I can't change that for right now. And I'm hoping this Rudbeckia comes back even fuller next year too. I can tell there's some more growth down here, but I'm leaving that up for a little winter interest as well. Then we're getting a little color change with the spirea. Look how beautiful that is. I got one more bloom. I think I got a video of it, of my Gertrude Jekyll, and I think next year they're going to do a little bit better. This area gets part shade, and I read that they do okay with part shade, so we'll see. We'll see how that does. But I'm loving the color combination in here with these plants. It's really starting to fill in, and especially now in fall, I'm just getting really beautiful, beautiful color right now, especially with that sedum right there. The red branches of those dogwoods are going to be so beautiful this winter, even though they're kind of small. But I'm so happy I went with the dogwood. back around to the top of this fireplace bed. We have blanket flower. I finally remember what it's called, you guys. And it's pretty. I usually don't like this flower because I spend so much time deadheading. But this year, midsummer, I finally just let it go. And I really like the look of it with all those little poof balls. They're so cute. And I still got quite a few blooms. I think I do get more when I do cut them back, but if I'm lazy and don't want to do it, I think it still looks really cute. So I'm really happy with this flower. I might try to add more colors of this. Red isn't my favorite color, but they sure look beautiful here in the fall, don't they? Probably going to take this flower out. Sick of the powdery mildew that it gets. But look at this gorgeous delphinium. One last gift for us from this delphinium. One of my favorite flowers out here. I do think I am going to plant a rose right here because I need to try to figure out where to put more roses. So I might move this next spring. We'll have to see. I need to figure out what I'm doing. So beautiful. Hopefully next week I can come and just move a bunch of ajuga and lamium because I really love how it looks filling in on the ground. Back here, my hydrangea is giving us a gorgeous, gorgeous color. This is a tidbit. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. I don't have the heart to cut them. I want it to get a little bigger and then maybe I'll cut some and bring it inside. But I love the look that they give just out here in the garden. Let's head down to the creek. Love that look up there of color too with the spirea, and I left those allium up as well. Getting one more bloom from the Atlas rose. So beautiful with this Superbena. One thing I noticed about this pink cashmere Superbena that it does lull. I don't think I have bedworms. I just think it blooms really well and then it kind of lulls and then it blooms really well. So that's something to note about it. I do think it's beautiful though, but right now it's starting its lull. And honestly, it's probably shutting down for the fall. But look at these Atlas roses. So pretty. I love orange peach roses. They are just my favorite. Some kind of buggy guy on there. Oh, so pretty. I am going to come in here and put some compost all through here because the soil is just not great. And as you can see, they are struggling a little bit. I'm not sure why. I just think it is the soil here. Look at the beautiful color we're getting back here. This area needs some improvements. We have a pallet back there for burning. But look how pretty. My goal either this coming summer or the next is to kind of work on this area. I've got a lot of project ideas though, so I'm going to have to just pick one. And go with it next year. But there's some leaves starting to fall in the creek, which is my favorite thing. I love to just come down here and I'm weird, film some videos of leaves going down the creek. It just makes me happy. I love mountains. I love the fall, and for some reason leaves in the water just makes me think of the mountains. These little guys are still going strong. The Hoopla Vivid Orchid, well, I wouldn't say strong. They're doing their best in this spot. Really beautiful though. I love all the color variations you get with this, like a blue purple. Whoops, that came off. And then this red purple, and then kind of mixed in between. Look how pretty that is. Definitely one of my favorites from this last year. Need to plant it in a different spot. Let's go up on top here before we go back to the creek. My lantana didn't do as well as I wanted it to, but it's really pretty right now. Stayed kind of small. I think I need to amend this soil as well. Loving the grass around this tree. I think when it's bigger next year, I'm even going to love it more. One of my favorite things that I added this year. And look at all the beautiful color we're getting here from this coleus and the different variety of shades of heuchera. Love it. I did come back and cut my daisies. I didn't film it, but I noticed they were all looking sad and they had a lot of growth underneath here still. And so I cut them back and noticed they had these black spotted aphids on them, a ton of them, especially the ones up on my fireplace bed. And so they look so much better. I did actually just cut everything, removed most of them that way, and then I just did a little bit of spraying just around the base of that because they were just absolutely covered. That little heat wave we had brought that on. I've had aphids quite a few areas in my garden this last couple weeks. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at this. Oh my goodness, you guys. Love it so much. This is the Red Rover. It's the Fun and Game series from Proven Winners, and this is Red Rover. Send it on over. I want some more of that. Okay. I'm a dork. Okay. Here's a view here down the creek. So pretty. Cannot wait for these Lenten roses to bloom this late winter. One of my favorite things to look forward to. Another project we want to do is to put some steps down here. So that might be one we do next year. We'll have to decide. Let's make our way up here. You can hear the birds all singing now that the sun's coming up. How fun is that? I did get some blooms from my aster that I planted here, which makes me happy, and I really love it down there. So I probably will keep those. They are just a workhorse plant, man. They went through a lot. They didn't get watered a ton because I was like, I'll just see how they do, and they pushed through it. Wow, really impressed with that. Maybe when we're down there we can get a little bit closer look, but only thing I don't like about these Russian olive trees is they are kind of messy. That's why they're junk trees, because they're very messy. We have all these on the ground, but I still like them because they're very pretty and they give us such nice shade. So I'm not going to complain about it too much, even though it is kind of annoying, but it's okay. I just need to come in here with my leaf blower and just blow everything out when it gets a little dry, because I like to have it clean and nice looking. This 9 bark is doing its thing. So beautiful. I'm getting a few blooms on the tips from it. I used to always hedge these back, and I think the more you hedge them back, they'll keep that shape. But I wanted to keep this one a little bit wild. This is a dwarf version, so it's not going to get too big, but I love it next to that spirea. Don't you think that view is so pretty? It's a little prettier down at this angle instead of looking straight down on it, especially with that Senecio right there. And the ajuga all covered up in the olive tree leaves. I moved this plant here. It starts with an M on the screen. It's like a Michael or something. Michael. It's after the saint. So I did lose its blooms, but I think it's going to be okay, and I love that it's there. I think it's going to be really nice in that spot. We're still getting color out of these Super Dunia bubblegums. What an amazing, amazing plant. I have not fertilized this for probably a month and a half, and it's still going strong. And look how beautiful it is with the honey locust. I love the yellow color of this honey locust. This tree gets pretty large, so I cannot wait until it's reached its full potential. It's just beautiful, and I love this blue fescue next to that. Look at that color combo. So pretty. My hydrangeas are looking a little sad, and I'm going to show these to you guys, and you can tell me, hopefully, what the problem is. I think these ones over here are a little bit worse off, and I think they just got burnt in the sun, and then they all just get kind of like this. I've watered them well, so I'm not sure. I don't know if it's the cold weather that's doing that, because it's getting cooler at night. Need to do a little bit of research on that to figure that out. I think they're still pretty out here, and they still add a lot. They're just looking a little a little crispy. I did not come in here and cut back my boxwoods. I'm going to do it in the spring. I just got a little tired, and it's going to get cold now, and I just thought they're fine. I can come in and do that next spring. Let me give you a close-up of these pots over here. I'm so happy with them. Oh, they're so fun. I've never done fall pots like these, and these pink mums are just making me happy. That pink and orange combo, and then with this sage and the black and the orange, I just absolutely love it. And then we've got the cabbage here with the lamium and the asparagus fern popping through. Really great combo. The mums in full bloom. Gotta enjoy that while we can, because those don't last too long. But I've really enjoyed that combo. And these corn stalks have held up pretty well. Of course, the weather's been really mild. And then our Virginia creeper, which is not invasive in our area. A lot of people have it along their fence lines. It's really pretty because it turns this red color in the fall. So I've really been enjoying that color as we look out in the yard. Same thing, zinnias still looking great. Getting massive. Look how big these are, you guys. So huge. Wow. So gorgeous. This one here is taller than me. Whoa. I don't think I've ever had zinnias get that big. And we're starting to get a little color change on the leaves of our peach tree. Yay! So pretty. Can't wait for that. It's taking a long time this year. I've just let this go. Still hanging on. Probably sometime soon I need to come here and take everything out. But look at that mizu. I've cut it back 3 times. It's doing so great. Here's the Russian sage on this end of the yard. And this is where I'm going to move the other one, either here or there, because it's so beautiful on these stairs. I'm so glad it is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Just kind of pop out onto these stairs, and it gets really hot here. There's a lot of sun, and just look, that's such a perfect spot for that on our stairs. Really loving that. Nephofia, still doing great, the 2 that survived. And my coneflowers always seem to look like this at the end of the year too. I do not know what happens. Can someone please explain this? It's suffering, and then it has, maybe it's got some kind of spot. To look that up. Definitely got black spots on it. I'd love to be educated about that if you know what that issue is, because I have it with all my coneflowers at the end of the season, and it kind of drives me crazy. But yeah, love that Russian sage. And then of course I'm going to always hunt down one of these. I can't think of the name. I'll put it on the screen. But these are amazing. Amazing, amazing. Proven winners plant. Need to pull out some dead things up there too. But here's the view this way with the leaves changing color for fall. Okay, let's walk down this way. I'm kind of thinking if this doesn't survive, I'm going to put a few roses here. Won't that be so pretty? I'm trying to think of more spots to add roses because there's so many more that I want, and I'm like, where am I going to put that? So I'm already trying to plan spots to put them in. This is looking nice and lush. I've seen it a lot in my other tours. Brennera, I definitely want to add more and make this cluster bigger next year. I was going to come through here and split all my hostas, but they kind of have a hard time in our area. And I watched a video with Garden Answer, and she said she doesn't split hers because they just kind of have a hard time in her area. And I thought that makes sense. I'm probably not going to split them. I'll probably just try to buy the same varieties. I don't know. I might change my mind because I want to make sure I have the same variety. And the only way to ensure that is to split them. So I'm probably going to do that in the spring. Didn't really get to it this fall. Maybe I still have time. I don't know. We'll see what next week brings. I'm going out of town this weekend, so I don't want to think about anything like that. But we got some more blooms on these Black Forest Cake heuchera. Love the color. Oh my goodness, with the black. This is what they look like. Stunning. Definitely want more of those. The Sunseekers did so well. Love these guys so much. I hope they do well. See, these aren't looking bad like the other ones. Leaves look nice and healthy. I'm going to get up close here. It's kind of slippery. But look, a more recent bloom. Not as much color because we're getting a little cooler, but love these. I wanted to bring you up closer to this aster It really is pretty. And I think what I need to do next spring is when it's growing, I need to, what's the word? Pinch it back so it's not so tall and stringy. I think that's what you have to do with asters, and I just was learning that, but that color in here is going to be really pretty, so I'm actually happy. And it's getting a lot of growth down here. Look at that. Same with the other one. Lots of green growth, so this will be a good spot. These can get huge though, that like 3 by 5 feet or something like that, so I might not need both. But for now, I'm enjoying it. So I'm glad I didn't just get rid of it. I'm glad I gave it a chance here. Let's just take a look at the creek here for a minute. Love that the trees are starting to change color down here finally. Love the back end. I'm looking at these heucheras here. Happy that I decided to keep them on this end so you can enjoy them on this end too. So pretty. Okay, that is it for my garden tour for October. I think November is going to look quite a bit different. So that should be really interesting to see. It's so fun to look back on these and see how the garden has changed over time. And I'm really, really loving October. I'm ready for some crisp air. So thanks again for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.